The grandchildren are growing up right before our eyes, and you may be reaching for ways to snag more meaningful moments. You can do it in easy, low-cost ways. For my next guest, that happened when making the world's tallest cake, and that was just one example. We pulled in Danette Holley to share a few ideas, simple ideas on simple grandparenting from her own experience. I love any chance I get to chat with you and pick your beautiful brain. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good, a new grandbaby on the roster.
We do, we have a 6-month-old little girl.
Congratulations, baby Ruby, that's so sweet. What is your family like? Break it down for us. How many grandchildren total?
We have 5. We've had exciting changes because none of our grandchildren have lived in the state. And in this past year, one moved closer to home, and so we get to now grandparent in person and online.
I love it. You've had to get creative, though, in how you do connect, right?
Yeah.
Over the screen, over the waves, as we say. So it's not the big lake house vacation. It's not the noisy family reunion. What is your purpose with the activities that you do?
I hope that when my kids grow up, when my grandkids grow up, they're going to look back and smile and have pleasant, happy memories of my husband and I being in their lives.
I love that. It takes intention, though, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, there's the grandma that's there, and that's great. And then there's the grandma that's maybe leaning in and doing a few small extra things. And these are simple things. So pump us up. Pump us full of ideas. The world's tallest cake. Tell me about this activity.
Oh, this is the fun part. How about if you invite your grandchildren over to build the world's tallest cake?
Okay.
Is it really the tallest cake? No. Does it matter? No.
Right.
It's all about selling the idea and the enthusiasm and the experience. So before the kids come, bake a sheet cake and make some frosting. Or if you don't even want to do that, buy it.
Sure.
When the kids arrive, you give them a cutter, the largest one you can find. Mine was like a large round donut cutter.
Okay.
The kids can cut the shapes out of the cake. They'll put it on the platter, put a little frosting, repeat. When you get up several layers, you'll probably want to put in a dowel or maybe a straw to hold it so it doesn't topple over. When it gets tall enough, make sure you add a lot of sprinkles and add lots and lots of oohs and ahs.
I love it. I love how you talk about pumping up the experience, building up the experience. So it is an event. They're going to go to school saying, I made the world's tallest cake with my grandma.
That's right. If you want bonus points and you want to make it even more special, send them an invitation. And I'm not talking, don't spend a lot of time. You could jot it on a piece of paper, you could text it to them. Yeah. But who doesn't love to get mail, and who doesn't love to have an invitation? And it changes an everyday experience into an event, something they're going to look forward to.
Now, for grandparents who maybe have distance in between them and their lovely grandchild, you've done activities like this over Zoom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Baking activities or...
Yeah, you would have to have your daughter-in-law do the work, and that's probably... you know, depending if they had the time to do it. But I do have some cautionary advice on the cake. A lot of frosting will be consumed.
Okay.
So, you know, my grandson's mantra was a dollop on the cake and a spoonful for me.
I like him.
So make lots of frosting.
I like him.
It will be a mess, but there will be lots of smiles. And I would also say it's okay to repeat activities. You don't have all of your grandchildren all the time, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Make a cake 3 times.
Sure,
Each of them can make the world's tallest cake.
I love that. I love that. And my grandma used to say sugar doesn't count at grandma's house. So
exactly.
There you go. You had a fun activity where you did a dig for jewels. Tell us about this.
Who can resist a treasure hunt?
Love it.
Several years ago, my husband bought a couple of bags of those glass gems, the kind that you would see maybe in floral arranging or Mancala games. Yeah, yeah. We went in the backyard and picked the spot and buried them. That's it. You're done.
You just put them in the dirt.
In the dirt. When the grandkids come over, they know where the trowels are, and they will head out and dig for a surprisingly long amount of time.
So it's an ongoing activity. This section of Grandma and Grandpa's lawn is loaded. Yeah. And they go there every time.
They go there.
How fun.
They'll spend a lot of time, and I have to say, I've seen their parents out looking too. This is not...
Who doesn't love a treasure hunt?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, so our kids really love to look for the treasure, for the glass gems. But I have a friend that hides dinosaurs. If her grandkids are coming over, she has a bucket of plastic dinosaurs, and she goes and puts them in the garden. How fun. And they love that too. So it's just find something that works for your family. We reuse them. They don't take them home. They go back in the bin, and we just rebury them.
Oh, I love it. All right, you like to look for trucks with your grandkids. Tell us about this activity.
We do, and you know, every child is different. They all have different interests, so it's kind of a question of finding what is interesting to them and then finding ways maybe to present it or to give them experiences or to teach them about it. So we're lucky we live close to a cement quarry. And we've driven down and spent an hour or so parked in front of the entrance, just watching the big cement mixers and the flatbed trucks go in and out.
And they're in heaven. Your little grandbaby
So simple.
is in heaven.
They loved it.
Yes.
But if that's too far away, if you don't live by a quarry, there's road construction everywhere.
Yeah, just go park.
Just watch, just park. And what really surprises me is usually the construction workers will see us and they'll drive their trucks right by us. They'll honk their horns.
They show off. They love to show off.
They do. It's like a parade.
Speaking of simplicity, you say an everyday afternoon at Grandma's house can be stepped up in fun by just pulling out a big bag of flour.
Yeah. I mean, how hard is it? This is like the simplest ever. Go to the store, buy a bag of flour, put it in a bucket. You're done. Give them mixing bowls, give them cups, give them sieves. They'll play for a long time.
Awesome, awesome.
There is a mess.
Yeah, well,
but it vacuums right up.
Mess means memories, always, right? Always. I tell myself that when my kitchen looks like a tornado.
Cleaning up messes is my superpower.
Oh, very good. Please come over. All right, two-way lessons. Tell me about your two-way lessons.
Like I said, not all of our grandchildren are here, but we still want to be part of their lives. They're important to us, and they're great kids. So as they've gotten older, we've had to change our activities. Now, our two oldest boys are really into paper airplanes.
Okay.
So we make sure that we have lots of computer paper by the computer, and as we're FaceTiming, the boys will show us step by step how to make their airplanes, and we follow along, and then we'll turn around and my husband will show them their favorites, and then we'll fly them through the houses and, you know, follow them with our phones.
Awesome.
And it's exciting to see what they know how to do, and it's exciting for them to see that they're sharing with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's a two-way street. It's a win.
Give and take. That's always a win. You can paint with water?
You can, and it's easy to clean up.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
You know, summer's winding down, you can feel it, but it's still hot outside.
Yeah.
And you've got everything at home to do this. You take a bucket, you fill it with water, and you put your paintbrushes in it that you don't care a lot about because they will take some wear and tear. So as they're painting, they can make, you know, they'll play games, they'll make their names, whatever they want, and it dries almost as fast as they paint it. So they'll do that for a long time, but if you want to up the game a little bit and you have chalk, that opens a whole world of possibilities. You can take the chalk and dip it in water, and then when you actually paint on the sidewalk, it comes out really vibrant and really smooth. Or you can wet an entire square and then draw on it. Or you could draw the picture and then paint over it, and it becomes a watercolor.
Oh, I love it. Simple, simple ideas that will bring that magic, that childhood magic, especially at Grandma's house, that we want to capture.
Yep. At the end, give them a hose, and they can even clean it up themselves.
Okay, the cleanup's on them, too. I love it, Danette. I love your approach. I love the purposeful way you take on this role. Where can we find and follow you?
I'm at Danette Holley on Instagram.
Okay, we'll meet you there. Thank you. Thank you for the good ideas.